Hi everyone, welcome to my channel once again, and what I'm doing today is some light work readings. So this is the very first one in the series of light work readings for this YouTube channel, and to begin with we're going to be working with the Work Your Light Oracle deck to get an idea of what your soul level calling is, and then we can go from there. So this is for the reading of Sagittarius. So that includes Sun, Moon and Rising Sagittarians. Obviously that energy will resonate to different degrees depending on which aspect you are reading into. So for example, if you're looking at this from your Sun sign, this is really going to resonate with you on a soul level, and you'll really, if it's for your particular message, then you'll really feel it, you know, sort of buzzing within your intuition. If you're reading from your moon sign, then obviously this is going to address certain aspects of this knowing that you have, right? Kind of like intuition, but it's more like what you feel to be right, and being sort of guided towards doing something that you feel like is going to resonate with your ethics and what your core principles are. If you're looking at this from your rising, then this is kind of more the energy that you aspire to. So this is more the energy that you wish to embody. Okay, so that just to clarify a little bit like how this particular message can resonate with you depending on what aspects of your signs in your charts that you're looking at this from. So from the Sun level, it's going to be deeply on a soul level. From the Moon, it's going to resonate with you in terms of your ethics, your beliefs, and you know, from the Rising, this is more attuned to your aspirations, okay, and the things that you know, that you're influenced by moving forward. So let's just get stuck in with the Work Your Light Oracle cards. Now I particularly love these because it's just, I mean, the artwork is so beautiful. I mean, that really took my breath away when I had a closer look at the cards. And it's great for this kind of work, like it's just so airy and light, and you know, it just really channels that energy. So I really like working with these for this kind of readings. This kind of setup that I've got with my little rose gold diamond here, this is like a custom spread that I've created, and I think you might enjoy because I think it's going to be particularly good for this kind of readings. So anyway, without further ado, let's get stuck in. So I'm just going to pull the initial 2 cards. And the first card will be dealing with the energy that you're leaving behind, okay, moving forward. So what is the energy and the overall feeling or circumstances, behaviours, ideas that Sagittarius is leaving behind? That's what we would like to find out. For some reason. So you have the ever unfolding rose, cracked open, and it's happening for you, not to you. Okay, so that's realizing that the universe is actually working in your favor, right? That you're not just like a bystander in these circumstances, all these things that have been happening in your life. You know, it's not just coincidence, and it's not just sporadically happening to you. It's working for you, it's working in your favor in order to help you grow and to nurture these higher energies that you have so that you can come more aligned with your true self, right? So that's what that's addressing. But I will give you the read from the booklet so you can look into that a little bit more and give you a bit more background as to the creator's intent behind this card. But I just want to pull the other card first. And now this one is addressing the energy that you're going to be stepping into, right? So what your soul is calling you to do, okay? So what is it that Sagittarius is moving toward? What is it that their soul is calling them to do? Where are they heading to in order to be more aligned with their true selves and their highest aspects? Where is Sagittarius heading? Aha, Pleiades. So it says double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So you may have a very strong humanitarian aspect about you already. This need to, carry out work or support for ideas that will uplift and benefit humanity, and maybe not just humanity, but the world as a whole. Maybe you're a bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe you're quite into activism. You could be an activist. You could be someone who's very vocal about their principles. You very much care about civil rights, human rights, animal rights, climate change, or everything that's happening with the planet. All of these kind of things. You may already be quite vocal in this. But this is kind of like showing that this is going to become a much more profound realization of this kind of work, right? That you're really going to be called to step up and play an active part in this transformation that we're undergoing right now, because we're currently entering a new cycle, as is the planet. And we're kind of in a very turbulent time because all the old ways of doing things, all the old actions that we carried out in order to do things will no longer serve. We're already seeing that. Our principles are going to change. Just the day-to-day life is going to be very, very different over time. But this is just the beginning. So right now what we're seeing is that shedding coming into light, that shedding of old skin, the destruction of old structures that no longer serve the purpose. So you may very well have an active part in that in some way. It could be in a very small way, or it could be in quite a monumentous way. But either way, it's going to be relevant and it's important to your soul mission, okay? So I'm just going to go to the booklet just to give you a bit of information so you can get a little bit more insight as to, as I said, what these cards were designed with in mind, okay? So what was in the mind of the creator when they made these cards? Because I think it's always good to have that that insight as well with the oracle decks, especially because as much as I have an awareness of what they represent, they are quite new, so I think it will help. So let's just get stuck in. Let's have the unending, ever unfolding rose. What is that? It's a good job I'm going to cut this video. Right, where is this? Okay, 24. Okay. So this card, by the way, is considered a confirmation card, so that's it's quite interesting that you've got that within the first position of what you're leaving behind. So here you go. The challenge of life is to keep your heart open when you want to close it. The challenge of life is to keep your heart open when you want to close it. To let life crack you open, to open through hurts and loss, to allow what is falling away to fall away. Being human is a courageous act. A life well lived is full of losses and tragedies, as much as triumphs and adventures. Wherever you find yourself at the moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open, no matter how much it hurts, to continually unfold, to let life crack you open. Perhaps you are going through a difficult time right now. Instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing, to open yourself up to the truth that perhaps, as hard as it may be, life is happening for you, not to you. And one day, in the not too distant future, you may just bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. Now is the time to go gently, to treat yourself like a tender, sweet baby, to wrap yourself in a blanket and trust that the mother has you cradled in her arms. The seas may not all be smooth sailing, but you are safe and you are held. One day, not too far from today, you will look back at the transformation and be blown away by the poetry of life. Everything is going to be okay. Okay, so that's the message there. Everything's going to be okay. Let it crack you open, right? So this is what I was going into previously when I mentioned this card in the beginning. That yeah, things are not happening, chaotically and randomly. Even if they seem like chaos right now, even if you're feeling, kind of frustrated, or it's left you feeling quite down, whatever the circumstances may be, it's not unintentional, it's by design, and that's to help you be aligned with this mission, right? To be aligned and in a position where you can do the work that's going to benefit not only yourself, but, potentially me around you and beyond. And that's what happens, you have to go through these transitions. We have to be sometimes put through a rude awakening in order to see things with a clear and objective perspective, to be emotionally and spiritually attuned to those higher frequencies that are coming in. And that's what's happening here, like you are being called in to do something important that's very much in line with your soul mission. So let's go to the Palladian card, because that will give you some background as well as to what that calling could be. And obviously we will pull some tarot to give you more information. But this is very much to do with where you're stepping into, the energies you're stepping into, what your soul is calling you to do, what your mission here is. The Palladians are a group of star beings dedicated to rising the vibration of the planet and sharing new consciousness through creations and technology. They have been incarnating on Earth since near the beginning of humanity. You are a soul who has a double mission, to grow at soul level and to raise the vibration of the planet. If you have been called to write, speak or channel, this is your sign to keep doing it. Your work is divinely guided. Of all the souls, Palladians are the chattiest, so perhaps you have already started channeling some of this work into the third dimension. Thank you for doing your part in the great plan. Your presence and unique light is needed, right? See, that's the thing. Like, it's, as I was saying, this work is very important. And that's why, obviously, like, sometimes you're probably going to be feeling like, when you see some kind of injustice, if there's something that you know in your heart to be morally wrong, that's harmful to others, that stops people from really being able to step into their own light, if it keeps them locked in some kind of prison, whether it's spiritually, emotionally, physically or financially, no doubt you will probably already be channeling these baser frequencies and letting the world know how angry and how unjust and, how frustrated you are with these situations. But this is kind of a time to let that aspect go and to really step into more of a solution-based way of thinking. So, okay, I know these things are going on, it's terrible. What can I do to be part of the change? What can I do to positively impact those affected by it? What are solutions, right? That's the kind of mindset you're being called into. So just let you know. So yeah, that's really powerful, actually, because then, you know that actually you're not only being told that your feelings are valid and that there is a change that needs to occur. It's also telling you that you have the power within you to bring about some level of change, right? Because I think that's half the problem. A lot of people feel like they don't have the means to do anything about it, but that's not true. You know, we're being reminded that actually we have more power and influence than we think, and that our voices need to be raised, right? So yeah, that's a really beautiful combination for you, Sagittarius, because as I was saying in your shadow reading, that even though, you know, you do use your discernment and you can kind of, you know, I see you with the sword, you know, of all the suits in the tarot, I really see you as like having that, I see you as like holding the sword, but at the same time obviously being really like sort of driving forward with it with force, you know, like a flaming sword kind of energy, right? And that's kind of how I feel when it comes to this work that you're being called to do, that you're going to go forward with such passion, and you know, you will carry the sword and you'll do what you need to do, and you know, you have the attributes to be potentially in a leader kind of position in this kind of work. So that's really interesting that this has come up for you. So now I just want to pull 3 cards initially using the Wild Unknown Tarot. And this is going to be addressing where you were, where you are currently, and where you're headed, alright? So kind of like past, present, future spread, at least with regards to this aspect. So you can see why this chain of events are unfolding in the way they are, because I think that guidance is really important. So you know that it's not been for nothing, that it's not just life being difficult, that actually it's guiding you towards something greater than you previously would have comprehended. Okay? So what is it that Sagittarius is coming out of? What is it that Sagittarius is just left behind? Okay. So you've got the Father of Swords. I'll just show you that quickly. So you've got the Father of Swords in reverse, sorry. So that's King of Swords in reverse. And that's saying that, yeah, you were feeling powerless, right? That you didn't feel like you had the ability, you didn't have the status, the platform, the skills, and the resources to make any change, right? You couldn't impact the world in the way you wish to. You didn't have the means to change these circumstances, right? But that's the illusion, I feel. Like that's what's being told to you here now, that feeling was created by those who want you to feel that way, those who benefit from making people feel powerless. But it's illusionary, it's not the case at all. So going into the present, so you have the 4 of Wands, right? Which is interesting. That's very much representative of this inner strength you have, inner power, your abilities, your balanced energy field. Okay, you might not feel like it now, but this is what really lies at your core. Like you have the stable grounding to do this work, right? And maybe you'll start to realize that over the coming weeks that actually you have what it takes to do something. Even if it's in a small way, it doesn't matter. Like it all has an impact, right? And that can inspire those around you to do the same. And that's why I feel like you have this real inner light for this kind of work, and that inner light will also inspire others and encourage others to do something similar. I feel like, you know, you're kind of slowly awakening to your potential. I don't think you'll realize your full potential just yet, I think it's going to take time, but I feel like you're starting to see that actually you have a lot more to offer than you realized, and that you have much more power than you realized. So, straight away, future. You've got the Two of Pentacles. So it's a balancing act, right? It's knowing what to do and when to step up, and also knowing when to allow the universe to guide you, right? You need to take action. It's important that when you have this sort of epiphany or this realization through your awakening, that you have much more to give, and that you have the ability to affect your environment and to positively encourage and inspire those around you. You have to kind of, it'll be a give and take, right? That you'll support others, but you also need to support your own growth as well. Because you are, I feel like you really are going to be this butterfly, right? That you're kind of coming out of the cocoon at this point. Like at the moment you're still kind of been doing the work and you're just dealing with some stuff, but it's transforming you, and you will become this butterfly, and then, you know, you'll have a responsibility to others and yourself, because it's part of your calling. Like you're being called to do this greater work that's really going to help shift the current energies. It's going to bring it to a more positive light. You're going to help inspire others to do the same kind of work, and to really just tap into that full potential, you know, to realize that they're not powerless, and that they have many gifts to offer, and that you know, they're not alone with it. So I think that's really, really important, that you really go inward at this time, because I feel like I said, I feel like you're still in the cocoon phase right now. So as you kind of do the healing work, really connect with yourself and your true center, right, your heart center, and really kind of activate your third eye and your crown chakra. That's when you'll start to see what you really are and what you really have to offer. So I think that, you know, if this feels right to you, if you're listening to this message and it resonates, then I feel like that's what you need to do. And then from there, you'll be in a position where you can really start to take action. But it always starts with the self, right? That's the important thing to know. It always has to start with the self. And then once the self reaches a level where it can take action and really manifest its true will, then you can help others. Then you can really spread the message, okay? But it has to come from a place of knowing, understanding, and peace, not from hostility, resentment, and anger. So that's really, really important. So now what I'm going to do is just pull a card in relation to the message that you have for yourself. So this is the message for self, okay? And not just in like a vague way like that. I mean a message, what is the word I'm looking for? For the message for finding unity in self. That's the one. My gosh, what is with my brain today? So that's what I want to pull right now. The message for unity, finding unity in self. So what is that? What is the message for the Sagittarius to find unity in self? And also it's important to note, like as I said, this will resonate to different levels depending on where this falls in your chart, where Sagittarius falls in your chart, Sun, Moon or Rising. But you can cross-reference with the other videos as well and see how that fits to your individual makeup, yeah? Because if you've got energies in other signs for your Sun, Moon and Rising, then it's worth knowing what the call is there, and you can see how it fits into this unique message for you by combining them. you know, because everyone's got an individual path. So I think that's probably the best way to approach it if you really want to look at this, you know, more in depth. So now here I've just pulled the Emperor card, and that's in the upright, which is really interesting. So this is, this represents your message to unify yourself, you know, the two aspects of yourself, the shadow and the light, so that you're working in sync as one rather than in odds of each other. So the Emperor, and that's the point, right? That you have everything you ever needed. It's always been there. You just needed to realize it. So you need to have that inner conversation with yourself. You need to really go deep so you can see your true worth. Because it's all there. And then once you connect, and once you explore your potential, once you explore your true nature, you know, your characteristics, your attitudes, feelings that are inherent to you, not those you've just adopted through societal pressure, parents, family, peers, all of that, but like what is inherent to your actual nature, that's when you'll start to really uncover this on a higher level. And then that'll help you shift and operate from a place of love and compassion and peace rather than hatred, resentment and anger. So that's interesting. I love that come up for you, because that's, again, these energies are so what I would associate with Sagittarian energy, like, for sure. And you see how you even have that flaming sun next to the tree? Like, that just feels so right for you in your fire energy. Okay, so now I've pulled a card for the message for unity with others. Okay, so this is how you can create unity. This is how you can do the work and unify with others and help create that sense of unity within the community that you choose to operate in. And that is the card I pulled is the Six of Wands in the upright. So again, I feel like as you do this inner work and you start to come out of that cocoon and you really allow yourself the space to flourish, to just take the space that you need to be yourself and to operate as authentically as possible, then you will have the space to also reach others who are either in the position that you were in or in the position you're in now or already ahead on that journey, right? But you can really start to connect with your soul community, you know, like people call soul tribe or whatever, but I feel like it's not just a small collective of people. It's obviously there's many people all over the world that are awakening to this, you know, urgent call of restoring balance on the planet, right? And I feel like, you know, you are going to be one of the catalysts for this change in whatever way that be and however, on whatever scale, it doesn't matter. But you are going to be a part of this work. And once you've done the inner work and once you've really found your footing and you have that confidence, not arrogance, but real confidence, then you can go and seek and explore and network with like minds. You can see what can be done. You may form think groups. You may be part of some kind of collective that tries to bring about some positive changes. I think you will seek like minds and you will find them, and then that's when the real work will begin. So yeah, that's really interesting, because I feel like you will do this in cooperation with other people, right? I don't feel like you're going to do this as a solo mission, but I feel like you could be in a leadership role within that framework. So now I'm just going to pull the overall energy for this read, and then we can clarify a little bit. I mean, that's the thing, I know these videos are quite long, and sorry if you're not into that, but I like to do these with real depth. I don't want to rush it because I think the information is very important. With the general reads, they will be much shorter, probably half the length. But with the shadow work and the light work, it's really important that you get as much information as possible. So I hope you're enjoying this. I hope this is insightful and useful to you. Okay, so the overall energy is the Two of Cups in reverse. Okay, so that's really, yeah, just saying that you are feeling this need to do the work in yourself and to change things for those around you and the environment that you're in. But at the moment, there's still work to be done within the self before you can really go out and do the work out in the world. It has to start from within. And I feel like you're feeling that, maybe you're feeling a bit lonely. You feel like no one understands you, that people don't see things as you do, or they don't have the same level of compassion. Or maybe they don't, they just don't care about the mission as much as you do. But that's because you haven't found this community yet, right? You haven't found the right people to discuss and collaborate ideas with yet, but you will do. That's the point, right? You will find these like minds, and they will support you in this work. So there's nothing to fear. You will find your tribe very soon, I promise. Okay? I mean, the timing, who can say? It all depends on when you're ready. When you're ready, then it will happen. But you have to be ready first, and there's no need to rush it. You know, timing is key. So just give yourself the time you need, and then when you're ready, then the journey begins. Okay? But your inner journey is the one that you need to really focus on right now. Yeah. So I just pulled this. I've not even started to pull it yet, but this came up, the Devil in reverse. So it's just telling you that don't let your frustrations cloud your vision, because it's going to be really important that you stay within this, operating from this higher frequency, and not get pulled down to the base frequencies because of your frustration or anger with what's happening in the world right now. So just be aware that, yeah, you need to do the work, and then you can go out there and really start to make an impact in the world. But first you have to make an impact within yourself. So I'm just going to pull some clarification cards quickly. I don't want to take up too long doing this reading, but I think it's good to get a little bit more insight. So can we just clarify this Emperor card? Or rather, let's do the past, the recent past. So let's clarify the King of Swords, Father of Swords in reverse. Okay, Strength in reverse. I'll show you that. It's in Spanish because I brought these when I was living in Spain, but that is the Strength card in reverse. So you're not again, that's, yeah, not feeling like you had what it takes to do the work, to make a difference. You didn't have the necessary attributes, that you didn't have the status or the platform to do the work. But we know that's not the case now. It's just you had some inner work to do first, and then you can go and create the platform, right? So that's kind of, again, the Devil card in reverse energy. There is the illusion. It's not that you didn't have what it takes to do the work. It's just you wasn't ready to create the platform to do the work, right? So let's clarify your current circumstance. So your present, the Four of Wands in the upright. Yeah, so you've got the Knight of Pentacles in the upright. So that is, again, that you're going on this journey, you know, that you're really taking it quite seriously, that you know what it means to you, what it will mean to you going forward when you can actually begin this journey. But you're still kind of, I feel like there is a little bit of hesitancy because you've still got this, niggling doubt in the back of your mind, like whether or not you have what it takes. But you're going to go forward anyway because you know there's no alternative. You're being compelled to do this work and you care about it. It's something that really resonates with you, so you're going to do it anyway. It's like, I feel like this energy here, like with the Knight of Pentacles crossing the Four of Wands, I feel like courage. You're going to find your inner strength and your courage. That strength that you didn't have, you're going to discover it very soon. And even though you're afraid in some ways, there is hesitancy, there's a little bit of fear involved, you're going to overcome that. You're going to face it anyway. And you're going to really go in and do the work so that you're in the position to go out there and make a difference. Okay, yeah, so in the future, I just pulled the Ace of Swords in the upper end. And that's obviously coupling the Two of Pentacles. That's, again, very positive. Again, this energy of really charging forward and just taking action. Not waiting things to just happen around you. Like you felt like you were doing for a long time with the ever-unfolding rose here. But you're really going to take matters in your own hands. As I said, when you come out of this cocoon and you're ready, you're going to just go ahead. You're going to think about what you need to do in order to make it happen. You're going to look at it rationally. As much as you are going to be guided and led by your emotions, your logic and your reason is what's going to help you to make it happen. Because you'll look at, okay, what resources do I need? What do I need to have in place in order to make this happen? What kind of people am I looking for to help me in this work, right? Yeah, Four of Swords in reverse. So, even though you feel like you might not have the resources right now, you might not have the foundation, you're going to create that. That's what's going to be leading you. You're just going to be like, okay, I need this, this, and this. So how do I do that? Okay, I'm going to contact this person. I'm going to find out about getting this. I'm going to go here. I'm going to meet up with this group. I'm going to attend this event. Whatever it is, you're actually going to take decisive action, and you will do it. You won't just talk about it. You'll actually do it, and then that will be the kind of dominoes effect where things will start to just happen. And pretty fast, I imagine, as well. I don't think you're going to be waiting around for things to come together. I think once you're in that position and you put yourself out there, you're going to start to find the right platform, the right people, the resources quite quickly. It will just sort of happen one after the other. So let's just clarify the Emperor. And of course, that's, as I said, that was the energy in terms of unifying the two aspects of the self, right? This is what this is, the message for unifying the two aspects of self. So let's clarify the Emperor, please, Sagittarius. Okay, so you've got the Knight of Wands in reverse. Yeah, don't go looking for the answer outside of yourself. Because as I said, you've got everything you need within you. But you have to know that, you have to really take the time to go in rather than look out. Because otherwise that can misdirect you and actually take you further away from the path if you go looking outward before you go inward. So that's the message there. Just, you have everything it takes. You do the work, you go inwards, you confront all aspects of self and why you had that doubt to begin with. Okay. 3 of Wands in reverse. Confront those things and realize that actually you are the creator of your reality. You are the master of self. And you have what it takes. So let's have a look at this 6 of Wands then. The energy and message for unifying with others. So creating that connection with like minds. Okay, so you had 2 come out then, so I'm just going to give you them both. You have the Star and the King of Wands. So this is you if you allow yourself to be misguided by thinking you don't have what it needs, what you need. If you think that you don't have what it takes, and to go inward and you go looking for it outwardly. And this is you if you embody that energy that's already yours. You're the king in the upright, okay? So that's what I'm talking about. That is real, creator energy. That's why I feel like you are going to be one that manifests this group of people. And then you also have the Star, which is creation itself. So you've got a creator, and the creation with the 6 of Wands, right? So this is what you're going to do. You're going to go out there and source what you need to make the creation because you are the creator. That's very powerful, So you have everything. You just need to do the work and give it the time it needs. But that's what you need to realize. You are the creator. You are going to change this reality of yours. So let's just clarify this overall energy. The 2 of Cups in reverse. Whoa, I just went flying. Funnily enough, it's the 4 of Swords in reverse again. I feel like what I need to say here is know thyself, right? Know thyself. Because everything that you're seeking outside of yourself to be the solution already exists within you. Okay? That this solution, this means to really fixing the problem, this influence, this platform, resources, individuals, whatever. You have that within yourself. You are the problem solver. You just have to realize it, and then you can bring in the right people to support that mission, right? But that's you. You just need to realize it. You are the King of Wands. It doesn't matter on your sex or gender. This is the energy you actually embody, at your core. You're someone who has amazing problem-solving skills. You're very creative. You can think outside the box. You can see things from a very clear perspective. You are very grounded in your approach, and you can see things from an objective view, but you still connect emotionally with others. So you have such, in business they call it soft and hard skills, right? You have both. You have all the makings of a potential leader, right? You have everything you already need. I don't feel like I need to pull anymore, to be honest. I'm just going to put these down. but it's all there, you know. You know what this is, this calling that you have. There's something about what's going on in the world currently that's really pissing you off, to just put it bluntly. You're not okay with it, and you feel absolutely compelled to do something about it, but you're not sure you have the ability to do anything about it. But then you're going to realize very soon that actually you do. You just need to confront some of those insecurities and really just kind of work through some healing as well, do some healing work to overcome those feelings of inadequacy, not just inadequacy, but low self-esteem in some areas of your life, or just feeling generally quite powerless. And then once you do that, and your light and shadow aspect is really working in harmony, then that's the time to get out there, to really formulate your ideas and how you want to approach this, and the kind of people you want to have on board to make this collective a reality. And then you're going to go out there and do it. You're going to find these like minds. You're going to create this collective. And not only that, you're going to be leading it towards something that will really have potentially quite a profound impact, at least in your community, if not further afield. So that's an incredible read. You know, I think that should be something that you use as a source of inspiration, as a guide to, you know, really carry you forward, because it's all within your grasp. This is you. This is all just within you, right? You just have to realize that all you ever needed was yourself. So I hope that was useful. If this resonates with you, then, you know, do take a minute to just process that and really give yourself time to do the healing that you need, to shed old ways of thinking, to get rid of the negative thought processes that keep you locked into this fear state and this mentality of being powerless, and really just rise to the occasion. Really allow yourself to embody these higher aspects that reside within you already. You know, channel that energy, and then you'll be ready to really do the work. So yeah, awesome read for you, Sagittarius. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about any aspect of this, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Do give it a like if you enjoyed this message and if you feel like it resonates with you. And don't forget to subscribe, of course, because there'll be a lot more content coming up. And, you know, I will be doing some other general reads and things as well. So yeah, I wish you all the best of luck with this journey. And if you need any support, you know where I am. So take care.